Good morning, everyone. Here we are at the council meeting for the municipality of the County of Annapolis. And I welcome you today and hope that you had a happy day yesterday with all the problems that we had. A reminder for all of us to have our phones off and to remind us that we are being recorded. We will start with roll call. Before that, we will be excusing Deputy Warden Enslow and Councillor Connell because of the date change. They were not able to attend. And we will start with District 1.
District 1, Councillor Parsons Salzman.
District 2, Jesse Hare.
District 4, Charles Crane.
District 5, Lynn Longmire.
District 6, John Welch.
District 7, Ted Agenbar.
District 8, Niall Harding.
District 9, Gitchett Oxner.
District 11, Diane LeBlanc. Okay, next on the agenda is disclosure of interest. No, we will go on to the approval of the order of the day. Are there going to be any changes or additions to the order of the day? Seeing none, we will move on to the approval of the municipal council minutes of January 21st. Do we have any changes or concerns on these minutes? Seeing none, we will move on and they are approved. So we are going on page 13, the recommendations from Committee of the Whole from February 11th. We will start at 5.1. There's quite a few of them. You can go around the table or I can have volunteers. Let's start with the first one, 5.1. Yes, Councillor Parsons.
I motion to approve a grant in the amount of $10,000 to Dr. Yasmin Saidri. I can never pronounce her last name. Savajani, in accordance with Policy 108, Medical Recruitment Financial Assistance Program, pursuant to the recommendation of Committee of the Whole.
Thank you. Seconder is Councillor Longmire. Any discussion on this motion? Seeing none. All in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. Motion passed. 9. Okay, 5.2, Lawrencetown. Councillor Oxner.
I move to approve Policy 133, Municipal Investments in Lawrencetown, 7-day notice given on February 11th.
Seconder, Councillor Cranton. Any questions or comments? All in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Motion passed. No. Okay, 5.3, support letter. Councillor Longmire.
I move to send the letter to the Honorable Dave Ritzy, Minister of Communities, Culture, Tourism, and Heritage.
Thank you. Seconder, Councillor Oxner. Any questions or comments? Seeing none. All in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. Motion passed. 5.4, Councillor Hare.
I move to approve Policy 109, Tax Exemption and Reduction, 7-day notice given on February 11th.
Thank you very much. Seconder? Yes. Councillor Crampton. Any comments or questions?
Yes, I do.
Yes, sir.
I'm not sure if this is an omission or not, but I just picked it up after I was reviewing from last time. So if you look at page 83 or 84 of that motion originally, I see there's an omission. So on page 84,
Could you read what we...
okay, so this outlines the exemptions, tax exemptions for different variety of different places, particularly community halls and so forth. So in District 7, there's one omission. The community hall West Dalhousie was not included, but all the others were. So I'm wondering if that is just a typographical error, or is there a reason that West Alhousie doesn't get tax exemption, or with all the other ones do?
Okay, if you hold on a minute, Madame Campbell will be giving you a response.
Thank you.
I think the best response that I can provide is they're done by application. So what's included on the list of exemptions are any organizations that have applied for an exemption. So if there isn't a community hall that is currently on the list, I would say they have never in the past applied for an exemption, but you might wish to advise them about their ability to do so.
I certainly will, and I'll look into that, and thank you for the explanation.
Thank you very much. Thank you for that. Any other questions or comments? All in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. Motion passed. 5.5. Yes, Councillor Welch.
I move to approve policy 126, road naming, 7-day notice given on February 11th.
Thank you. Seconder, Councillor Hare. Any questions or comments? All in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. Motion passed. 5.6. Councillor Oxner.
I move to repeal AM-1.2.5 Declaration of Proclamations Policy, 7-day notice given on February 11th.
Thank you. Seconder, Councillor Person Salzman. Any questions or comments on this motion? All in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. Motion passed. Motion 5.7. Yes, Councillor Agenbar.
I move to give first reading to approve bylaw 5, civic address, in accordance with the recommendation of the committee of the whole.
Thank you. Seconder, Councillor Oxner. Questions or comments? No? All in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. Motion passed. 5.8. Councillor Welch.
I move to authorize funding of $32,062 from the Capital Reserve Fund for the completion of the Bridgetown parking lot and EV charging station project pursuant to the recommendation of the committee of the whole.
Thank you. Seconder, Councillor Agenbar. Questions or comments? All in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. Motion passed. 5.9. Councillor Parsons.
I move to authorize funding of $52,117 from the Capital Reserve Fund for the completion of the Sports Hub Accessibility Project in accordance with the recommendation of Committee of the Whole.
Thank you. Seconder, Councillor Harding. Sorry. Any questions or comments? Yes, Councillor Longmire.
Thank you. The bathrooms at the hub, were they winterized?
The bathrooms were winterized, is your
Winterized,
question?
yes.
I don't know, miss, maybe we could have our Mr. Young.
No, they weren't. The original construction didn't have it, and the budget that we put together was not to rebuild the structure, but to modify what was there.
Okay, so they cannot be open during the winter season?
We'd have to put extra, like portable heaters in and
Okay.
stuff like that, but
Right,
it becomes, yeah.
sure, thank you.
Okay.
So if needed, they could be used, if needed. The answer is no.
Potentially, but we'd have to work that out with ACOS, because that would require snow removal, maintenance, and everything else to go on the site to make the washrooms usable.
Appreciate that, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Young. Any other questions or comments? All in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes?
Yes.
No? Motion passed. 5.10. Councillor Welch.
I move to authorize funding of $141,000 equivalently from the county water and county sewer reserves for the East End water study pursuant to the recommendation of the committee of the whole.
Thank you. Seconder, Councillor Cranton. Any questions or comments? All in favor signify by saying yes.
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 Opposed, no. Motion passed. 5.11, Councilor Cranston.
I move to authorize funding of $27,706 from the Canada Community Building Fund for the Facilities Assessment Project in accordance with the recommendation of Committee of the Whole.
Thank you. Seconder? Councilor Hare? Any questions or comments? All in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. Motion passed. 5.12, Councilor Agambar.
I move to authorize funding of $9,775 from the Capital Reserve Fund for the accessible upgrades to Jubilee Park pursuant to the recommendation of Committee of the Whole.
Thank you. Seconder? Councilor Carson-Salzman. Questions? Comments? All in favor signify by saying yes.
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 Opposed, no. 5.13, Councilor Hardy.
I move to approve the recommended purchase and installation of drinking water protection signage for municipal water systems in Cornwallis Park, Margarettsville, Granville Ferry, Bridgetown, and Bear River pursuant to the recommendation of Committee of the Whole.
Thank you. Seconder? Councilor Welsh. Any questions or comments? All in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. Motion passed. We are now on page 15, a staff report from Madame Campbell with a recommendation. Would someone read the recommendation first? Councilor Longmire?
To recommend that Municipal Council give second reading to Bylaw 3, repeal of Bridgetown skateboarding bylaw and Bridgetown smoking control bylaw.
Thank you. Seconder? Councilor Agambar? Any comments or questions? Okay, all in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed? No? Motion passed. Okay, we move on to page 23, am I correct? I didn't give anything, did I? I did. Page 18, okay. Thought I did. Thank you. Report from Madame Campbell. Do I have Councilor read the recommendation? Councilor Welsh.
I move that Municipal Council approve Policy 114, Council remuneration, as circulated. 7-day notice on January 21st, 2025.
Thank you. Seconder, Councilor Carson-Salzman. Any comments or questions on this? None? All in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no? Motion passed. Okay, now I'm on the page. Thank you. All right. Okay, so this is prepared by Madame Bent, which is a amended motion request for the municipal heritage resignation. I need,
Motion.
yes.
I motion that we reschedule the public hearing of March 18th. No?
The bottom one.
Oh, sorry.
Amended.
Okay, I move that Municipal Council amend motion to consider representative portion of 8 Clemensport Road, Clemensport, PID 051-03155, being the area the main house is situated upon, and also including the area of land that extends 10 feet outward surrounding the entire house, for registration as a municipal heritage property, and to set a public hearing date of Tuesday, March 18th, 2025, at 11 a.m. at the Municipal Administration Building by changing the public hearing date to May 20th, 2025 at 11 a.m. and to deposit the required notice of recommendation in the Registry of Deeds.
Thank you very much. Seconder, Councilor Harding. Any comments or questions? Typically just a date change, thank you. All in favor signify by saying yes.
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 Opposed, no. Motion passed. We are on page 24. We have a motion that is provided to us from the Planning Advisory Committee. Councillor Agenbar.
I move that municipal council give first reading to consider an application submitted by Mr. David Hebb to rezone the property located at 33 Parker Mountain Road, PID 0501568, from low-density residential R1 zone to general mixed-use MX zone, which will also require an amendment to the future land use map designation from residential RES to mixed-use MX. The map amendments with permit the reuse of the with permit to reduce the property as a repair shop.
Okay, seconder, Councillor Cranston. Do we have any questions or comment? I see Madame Bent is coming. Any questions or comments for Madame Bent?
Our apologies, we forgot to add that we must set a public hearing date, and
Okay.
staff is hoping that we can achieve that on March the 18th, Tuesday.
At 11?
Sounds good.
Okay, so we need to add that on as an amendment.
Yes.
Glenmeyer, Councillor, would you, how would you phrase that?
And set a public hearing date of March 18th, 2025 at 11 a.m.
There you go.
with the snow date of March 10th.
2026.
No, just, the amendment would be and set a public hearing date of March 18th, 2025 at 11 a.m.
Okay, so we need,
I'll second
I'll
it.
that was the seconded
Yeah.
by Councillor Oxner. All right, on the amendment, all in favor, any questions, comments? No? All in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Perfect. Opposed, no? Motion passed. On the whole motion.
Have Ms. Bench just explain what this is.
Can we get background?
Parker Mountain Road.
Yeah.
That is an amendment application staff has been working on to do a rezoning from a R1 zone in the countywide plan to the mixed-use zone to allow the current property owner to continue the past use of the property for a repair shop.
Any questions or comments on, for Madame Bent?
And just to clarify, I understand a public information meeting was already held,
Public information meeting has been set and
but the local residents were made aware of this.
absolutely.
They've already been consulted on.
Yes.
Good advertisement.
Okay.
Anything else? Councillors?
Question?
No? Okay, so now we're voting on the whole complete motion. Do you want Madame Kelly to read it all, or do you know what it is?
We know what it is.
Yeah.
Yep, with the amendment, yep.
We know it is, perfect. Just don't want to go 2 steps forwards and then go back. Okay, the whole motion, all in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no? Motion passed. Okay, page 25. Prepared by Monsieur Young. And we have a motion to be read about the PCRA funding request. Do I have a Councillor Meyer?
I move that municipal council authorize the withdrawal of $40,299 from the Max Young Fund to the Bridgetown Community Recreation Association for equipment repairs.
Thank you. Seconder is Councillor Agenbar.
Madam Chair, can we ask Mr. Young to just explain this one, because this one didn't make it to committee of the whole, it's coming directly to council, and maybe Mr. Young can explain this for council's awareness as to what the request is.
Yes, certainly. Go ahead.
So BCRA has experienced a number of expenditures over the last year, and budgeted for type expenditures. They've requested funding from the municipality. Max Young Fund fully supports these types of expenditures to keep the rink fully operational. So thus, the reason before you, one deals with, two of them deal with the actual, three of them, sorry, deal with the actual ice-making equipment itself, and one deals with the Zamboni, which you have already had a briefing on the Zamboni, and thus us pursuing an alternative for replacement of the ice resurfacing equipment. So these are functions of we're replacing equipment, the circulating system of the ammonia that acts as the freezing agent for the ice. And it's a function to let you know we're spending this kind of money at a Max Young, the money is there to do it, but it's, the bell is tolling on that facility. We're starting to experience major expenditures, and how far do we keep going is kind of the underlying message, even though we're lucky to have the funding available through a fund to pay for this. So that's what this is.
Thank you. Any comments or questions for Mr. Young? Yes,
Just
Councilor.
a quick question. It's quite a little bit of money, and if I may ask, I assume a qualified professional is doing the repairs to the building.
100%.
Yeah. May I ask just the company is doing it?
Simcoe, they are a refrigeration, engineering and refrigeration company, so they do design plus they do installation. We have an ongoing contract with them with the arena, as well most arenas around Nova Scotia have contracts for operating the ice-making equipment.
Where are they based at?
They're all over the place. We're actually dealing with a company, the office is in New Brunswick, but they have satellite offices here and in other jurisdictions as well. They're kind of across the country.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm hoping to get away from something like this if we move to a new facility with a CO2 system. Because ammonia, you need special training and certification to work on an ammonia system. Because it's a toxic gas and it's a GHG, greenhouse gas.
Any other questions for Mr. Young? No? Thank you, Mr. Young. Okay, on the motion, all in favor signify by saying yes.
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 And opposed, no? Thank you. Approved. So we are on page 28. Staff report from the PAO, the nominating committee report. I need a councillor to read the motion. Councillor Harding.
I move that Council Municipality of the County of Annapolis approve the appointment of Michael Longmire to the Annapolis County Source Water Protection Advisory Committee, effective immediately for a 2-year term ending on October 31st, 2026.
Thank you. I need a seconder. Councillor Oshner. Any questions or comments? All in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no? Motion passed. On page 30 to page 39, we have a running list, or a tracking list, of motions that are for council. That's always good to look at. And we now are on councilors' comments. So, we'll go around the table. We'll start with District 1.
Greetings from District 1. Mother Nature has given us a good dose of winter weather. I'd like to thank the road crews for their efforts in keeping the roads clear, and our bus drivers for getting our kids to and from the schools. And it's great to see so many people out using the trail systems, regardless of whether it's motorized, on foot. When the weather allows. The last few days have been cold, but I see there's a lot of usage with the trails. Just a reminder that there is one more online community grants info session, February 24th. Great opportunity for the volunteer organizations to see what might be available to them.
very much. To the point. District 2.
Oh, to highlight its importance, I'm only going to say one thing from a councillor comments, and hopefully anybody reading this or listening to this that is in the East End area, please do the online survey that is currently open for the East End Planning Strategy Review. Please do the survey. Attend the East End Open House at the Wilmot Community Centre March 1st from 1 to 3 p.m. It is very important we have our public's feedback when we do this planning document. Very important. If you don't want to see something you don't like, participate.
Thank you very much. Councillor Hare, District number 3 is just Dick Mullen, Mrs. Saxon, for sends his regrets, and District 4.
Welcome, everyone. First off, I want to compliment the county recreation staff for making lemons at lemonade, or making lemonade at lemons, and having nice winter activities on some of this weather. I attended the community grant information session at the Upper Clements Hall. There was a lot of good information, and I also felt it was a good chance as a counselor to meet with some of the community groups afterwards, to get yourself introduced and learn a little more about what they're doing, and was glad to see that there is an online option. This month, most of my community engagement has been limited to emails and phone calls. There's not as many public events going on. And I attended one house call where I was invited somebody for tea and biscuits. So, and I have 2 more scheduled, so in the absence of public events, there's one way to engage. Looking to do something similar to Councillor Harding, where schedule a coffee with your councillor, and I'm looking for when the weather gets a little bit better, so aiming for March as well. And just the concerns that I hear when I get the phone calls and emails are still mostly around the property tax bills and the assessments we'll have on their bill, the size of council, and then just in the last week, really in the last few days, I'm sure most of us have received a lot of concerns about the province's plans for resource extraction. So basically what I've been dealing with, and yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you. District 5.
Good morning. I thought it was going to be afternoon, so I included the word afternoon, because I thought we would be here a little longer. Anyway, good morning from District 5. It's a little lengthy, but I'm going to try and get through it. On the third Monday in February, Nova Scotians come together to celebrate Heritage Day, a time to honor the stories that shape who we are. This year, we pay tribute to Nora Bernard of Millbrook First Nation, a courageous Mi'kmaq woman whose fight for justice changed countless lives. She stood tall, not just for herself, but for every survivor of a Canadian Indian residential school system, demanding recognition and compensation for the pain they endured. Nora's legacy isn't just about the past. It's a reminder of the strength and resilience that lives on in her community and in all of us. During February, we as well pay tribute to African Heritage Month, and this year embracing the provincial theme, and I love seeing the posters here, Legacy in Action, celebrating Black brilliance. The theme celebrates the enduring legacy of Black Nova Scotians, paying tribute to the community's resilience, achievements, and impact throughout history. On to my district. How quickly did January disappear, and now we find ourselves midway through the month of February. February certainly hasn't let us down. It is like a step back in time to winters of days gone by. Lots of snow and lots of ice, which certainly has made for exciting times with the outdoor activities that the county has offering. However, along with the snow came this tremendous amount of ice, treacherous driving conditions, concerning roads for our school buses to navigate safely, the worry for our emergency vehicles such as fire and EHS, a growing concern. I am equally concerned for our plow drivers. They are doing everything they possibly can and working in extremely difficult conditions. Unfortunately, too many storms have left us with a buildup of ice that is now less than favorable for safe travel for all. We all understand the idea of traveling safer for the condition, but this past few days and over the past several weeks, it has tested even that notion. Yesterday, we learned of fire trucks being in ditches, plows being in the same situation, along with many cars and even children being involved. Thankfully, there were no injuries reported. I'm sharing this today because it is a very serious matter. As you can all appreciate, it is difficult to answer citizens' questions when one clearly does not have the answer. I am a counselor closest to the people. So I guess today I ask the county for assistance in finding out what is the plan for managing our roads with the province. I have taken a large number of calls, emails, text messages, and answered them to the very best of my ability, reassuring them that there will be an answer. All gravely concerned for their and their others' safety, so neighbors are reporting for each other. And we constantly go back and talk about how important BREMO is and how we can all be looking in on our neighbors. They're expressing their less than confidence in the winter cleanup plans. It is always easy to say if you don't have to go out, then don't. But this isn't a reality for all. We have people who have been waiting years for appointments with specialists at hospitals, surgeries. They don't want to miss these important appointments. Some jobs cannot work from home, and as home care reaches out beyond borders to work with seniors and the frail. We have children who are missing extreme amounts of time in the classroom that will be difficult to make up. We, over the last storm, had a bus off the road in District 5 in a very difficult area on a slope, about 75 degrees. And they had sent another bus to respond to pick up the children. The road had such a large buildup of ice that no vehicles should have been on that or attempted. They then sent another bus to pick up those children that then got in the same predicament. After speaking with the tow truck driver, he shared with me that this situation should never have happened. The roads were not safe for travel. They are leaving it to the discretion of a bus driver who may not live in the area as to whether they can even attempt the run. How is this a safe decision for all involved, including the bus driver? And today we have children who will not be attending school because buses are told to use their discretion, leaving it now up to the families to get their children to school. This is not fair or equitable. If it is not safe to send a bus, why would they then suggest that it is safe for a family member to drive their child to school? The unnecessary pressures this is putting on our bus drivers and families is unreasonable. Most of us are aware that when and how our roads will be managed. We are told this yearly, but this season has certainly changed that. The weather is no longer the same. It is not about the large amounts of snow and easier cleanup. It is about the buildup that has taken place over a large amount of time. I am not sure how or why, but I feel the citizens should have answers to these questions. On behalf of the citizens in my district, please address the shortfall of salt. If this is in fact the issue, and sand, as we do have quarries all around us, and somehow we need a safer solution. Proaction is always best. Being well prepared certainly is less costly on many different systems, including healthcare. It also applies to the expense of equipment and machinery when we see fire trucks laying in ditches. Back onto hall events. The weather has caused many cancellations of activities, but nonetheless, the volunteers remain very excited and positive about better days ahead. The Youngs Cove Community Hall hosted their Valentine's Cupcake fundraiser February 14th and sold out. They would like to thank all of those who made this a true success. They are planning now for Mother's Day fundraiser. Stay tuned for the updates. Jam sessions are always a hit in Youngs Cove, but Friday presented inclement weather. Keep your eyes open for the upcoming events. And it was wonderful to hear from Councillor Ted Eggenbar, who said that he had planned on attending and playing that night. Lower Granville Hall has a potluck planned for this Saturday, February 22nd from 5 to 7. Please bring a favorite dish to share with others. The potluck is free. Feel free to spread the word. Lower Granville Hall also offers Winter Month Indoor Walking Club. To find out more about this opportunity, if you do have Facebook, you can always find them at Lower Granville Hall, or if you're driving by, if you can manage those roads, details on their roadside sign. Plans for the Port Royal Lighthouse Association to hold their AGM is set for February 24th at 7 p.m. And because of the road conditions, they have chosen to hold that meeting in the Granville Ferry Hall, if weather prevents. Both the Youngs Cove Hall and the Lower Granville Hall have a coffee hour. It's exciting to go to each one of my halls in the district. It is a wonderful time to share conversation and learn about the concerns and needs that they may have. Mondays in Youngs Cove and every Friday in February at the Lower Granville Hall. Your favorite hot beverage along with some sweet treats. Best Years Fellowship Seniors Luncheon to be held at the Hillsborough Baptist Church, 3686 Shore Road West has been postponed due to road conditions and weather. Stay tuned for further updates on that. Musical guest would be Linnea Rose, and she was formerly from the Granville Road. Please listen for REMO reports on weather and how to prepare. If you can share with others who may not know about REMO, please do so. And if they do have a smart device and can put this app on their phone or such, please help them learn how to do that. I've helped several people this past week to do this very task. Stay safe out there, stay low and go, walk with bent knees. Lower is better, prevents serious falls and injuries. And please, if you can, check in on your neighbors. That leads me to comfort stations for another day and just how important they will be in the future. Looking forward to spring ahead in just 2 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor, District 6.
Thank you, Councillor Longmire. You touched on some important points there. I appreciate that. Greetings from District 6. February has been a busy month with ongoing discussions and concerns raised by numerous residents. Regular communications with constituents have covered a range of topics, including street lighting improvements, road conditions, and rising heating costs, during which has been an exceptionally cold winter. I've been in conversation with the sale of the Basin Center, a topic of interest for many in the community. Council meetings and community engagements continue to be a priority as we work through municipal matters that impact daily life within our region. As always, I appreciate hearing from residents and encourage you to reach out with any concerns or ideas. On a personal note, I was able to take a short break to visit friends and family in Sackville, New Brunswick, and you've managed to spend a day at Ski Wentworth for the first time, a great reminder of the natural beauty and recreational opportunities that we have in the Maritimes. Looking ahead, I remain committed to working on the issues that matter most in our community and will continue to advocate for practical solutions that support residences and businesses. Stay warm and stay in touch. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. District 7.
Thank you. Well, greetings from District 7. Well, it's certainly been an old-fashioned winter, one which most of us will glad to see end. For some folks, it has been great. So glad to see the snowshoers, skiers, snowmobilers, and enthusiasts having an opportunity that we don't always have. It's been a challenge for the Public Works crew to keep up, and I know that they didn't have many days off. I thank them for their hard work and dedication. It's been certainly, as other councilors have said today, that it's been a pretty tough winter and pretty hard to deal with Mother Nature in this respect. So it's not just here, it's everywhere. I attended several meetings, including the County Planning and Advisory Committee, the Bridgetown Area Advisory Committee, Community Grant Information Session, it was held in Lawrencetown, and the Bridgetown Area Community Fund, AGM, and others. It's been a very busy month for meetings. The first Annapolis County Joint Council meeting was held, hosted by your Annapolis County Council at the Bridgetown Legion. In attendance were the mayors, wardens, village reeve, councilors, and CAOs from Annapolis Royal, Lawrencetown, Middleton, and the county. The municipal units shared issues, concerns, and priorities in an effort to work together for the prosperity and future development of our communities. The plan going forward is to have these meetings on a quarterly basis to continue the dialogue. The Bridgetown Area Chamber of Commerce will be seeking individuals to oversee the annual Cider Fest Committee. New people are needed to ensure that the continuation of this major event that takes place in Bridgetown every year. Finally, I had the pleasure to meet Barbara Bishop, the chair of the Paradise Historical Society, and have a guided tour of its facility in the old Paradise School. They have done a wonderful job, excuse me, a wonderful job in restoring the facility, and the renovations are ongoing. The society hosts many events throughout the year. Their motto is, "It changed everything." You can drop in for free coffee, sweets, and just a chat every Wednesday morning, and it's a must-see in Paradise. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor. District 8.
Good morning. I've got to say February has been quite the month. The cold, ice, and unpredictable weather has certainly been a challenge for all of us. For the shortest month of the year, it always seems to feel like the longest. I know I'm eager to move towards spring. So please remember to drive carefully, allow yourself extra time when possible, and check in on friends and neighbors who may be struggling at this time of year. A simple gesture, like lending a hand with shoveling, can make a big difference. I also want to acknowledge the hard-working men and women of TIR who have been out in tough conditions, often understaffed, keeping our roads as safe as possible. Plowing at 3 or 4 a.m. in the morning is no easy task, and I appreciate their efforts. This Saturday, February 8th, my family and I attended the Bear River Firefighters Breakfast, and as always, it was a fantastic meal with a great turnout. If you're in the area, I'd highly recommend stopping by. It's the first Saturday of every month at the Bear River Fire Hall. Additionally, Milford Hall hosts a monthly crib tournament on the first Saturday of every month. It's $10 a person, prizes for high hand, high crib, and 50-50 draw, and hamburgers are served. Registration starts at 11 a.m. and play begins at 12. It's a great opportunity to enjoy some friendly competition. It's been a productive start to the year on council with new challenges and projects underway. One recent success was the installation of a new street light on the corner of Greenland Road and Fed Road. This was a safety concern that was brought forward by residents in District 8, and I'm very happy to have seen it addressed. A big thanks to the residents and also the county staff that we worked with to make this happen. Committee work is also in full swing for both councillors and the public committee members. I wanted to take a moment to sincerely thank all the community members that put their names forward to serve on committees. It's your input that helps shape the direction of the county, so it's very important. Also, I just wanted to make a quick update that the formation of the new Joint Police Advisory Board, which is in partnership with the town of Middleton, is a collaboration. It's part of our collaboration strategy to working with neighboring municipalities to enhance essential services for residents. Our first meeting is February 20th, and I'm looking forward to those valuable discussions. And as we wrap up February, I want to thank everyone who continues to make our community a great place to live. And here's hoping that March brings some warmer days and perhaps some signs of spring. Stay safe and take care.
Thank you, Councillor. District 9.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Things have been fairly quiet in District 9 with a few inquiries. I've attended many sessions and meetings, as the other councillors have. African Heritage Month, the opening ceremony in Digby, the community grant information session, and the East End Planning Group. I would like to make a special mention and commend Sean Trahan and his wife Vicky for noticing a house fire in Nicktaw on Saturday. Sean acted swiftly and helped a young lady and a toddler out while Vicky called 911. We may have had a different outcome had they not been so observant and willing to act. Many of our citizens are trying to support local businesses and buy Canadian products, as everyone across the country is. I would like to remind people to remember that every bit helps, but sometimes a Canadian option is not available, and to not compromise their budgets or their well-being just to support this movement. Cora has some great sessions coming up in Middleton. If you're not online on Facebook, you can go to the Reader, and it's a great source of information for activities and events coming up. Beginning next week, I will be in the satellite office in Middleton from 10 a.m. to noon on the last Thursday of each month to hopefully increase engagement with the residents of District 9. And as always, the food banks are in need, and we have increasing numbers of people seeking help there. And that's it from District 9.
Thank you. District 10, Councillor Connell is absent for today, and I will do District 11. Well, I've heard everybody's comments, and there's not much that I should add, except I had we did the opening at the town of Digby together, Council Auctioneer and I, for the month of February for Heritage, and I've been to different areas. However, the point that matters the most is the fact that February has not been kind to any of us. So, everybody is at their wits' end on driving, keeping other people safe, or cleaning for other people, and so on. However, the halls are still open when they can be, so they have different activities, and our recreation department is also trying, which is great, and hopefully it'll calm down a little, so that we'll have a little bit of easy winter weather. So check the Facebook page. If you don't have Facebook or it's difficult for you, then just send an email to the Three Rivers Community Center or any center there is in our county to find out what is available and what is open and what activities are going on. I will leave it at that, and be safe and be careful of what's going on out there. So we are done for I missed one. Oops, we have to go back to 6.7. We have Municipal Operations Capital Project Update, which is going to be given by our engineer, Mr. Young. And sorry, Mr. Young.
So what this is basically a snapshot of where we are up until and projecting to the end of March with the previous capital budget. Starting with our administration building, we have about $450,000, I believe, there. We spent a majority of that on the roof structure. We did, if you remember, councilors that were here before, we did one quadrant of the roof. This was to do the other part, so the roof now has been totally replaced. And the other big expenditure we did, which was just mainly buying equipment, but basically we converted our heating system to electric zone valves from pneumatic. So now the heating system is working much better. And as you can tell from this room, because we used to be playing with this little gadget here quite a bit, and we don't have to anymore. The other piece that we had on our agenda to do was to begin construction of an accessible washroom off the front entry. And we haven't gotten there yet, because one of the main reasons is I have to bring somebody in from Halifax to do the asbestos removal.
Yeah.
There's nobody certified, so we're actually pursuing it ourselves to see if we can get one of our staff certified, because if we're going to stay in this building for any length of time, every time we want to do something around the roof, we have to scrape off that bubble surface that has asbestos in it. So it makes sense that maybe we pursue that option. The next item is just a general IT that is given to our IT services for replacement computers, etc. So councilors, you've got new computers or other devices. It probably came out of this fund. Municipal roads rehabilitation. This involved a cost share project on the east end of Granville Street in Bridgetown. Our parking lot, the back end of the parking lot, if you remember, I don't know if you remember, years past, it was broken up asphalt. It has now been chewed up and it's just all gravel. And then the final piece is Atlantic Avenue down by our beach park in Cornwallis Park. We did paving down there. Sewage lift stations and water system upgrades. This is mainly helping us restock our stores for lift stations, our lift pumps themselves. Right now, we're replacing the above-ground lift pumps. They have not been replaced since they were put in place. So we're going through a cycle of replacing those. So we have two types, ones that are actually submersible, that are flat to the ground, the other ones that are sitting above ground, so two different types, and we're replacing the above ground ones and going through a process of that. And I might as well go to the water, where it says general water upgrade countywide. There we're buying valves, hydrants, service boxes, etc. We go through them constantly. And also in here will be the purchase of some pipe to do some main replacements in Bridgetown, where we hope not to go to tender. We'll get our staff to do it themselves. So the next is a SCADA system upgrade. The only piece left to do there is our newer systems, Bear River, and hooking up the booster station in Lakeel when that gets up and running. So that's why the money has not been spent there. Next, our emergency gen sets. So we completed Granville Ferry, although working with the feds to finalize that because they're environmental regulators, I don't know what, anyway. We're walking through that process with them, but we finish off Bridgetown and Margarettsville for our water supplies. The next, obviously, will be focusing on, as I mentioned, trying to think to you folks before, focusing on NICTOP and big work that we have to do there. One of the pieces that we've been trying to do for the last couple of years is pursue a consistent source of water for Margarettsville. So right now it's a small surface supply, and we have been under discussions with highways over a piece of land up the Benfinity Road, I forget the name of the crossroad that's at that corner there, the first crossroad you come to. But there's a piece of highway property there that there's some streams that run through near the surface. So we're going to do a test drilling there, and we hope to have that done before the end of March. And then we could develop a plan on how we want to pursue going forward to secure a water supply for the future. Because the surface supply that we're into right now, if we have a really drought year, it is not, they've run into problems there before. And it's a very finite supply in the sense that, similar to Bear River, if something goes wrong with the system, they can go through their water storage and their water fairly quickly without, waiting for the system to back it up. Our plow truck, we could use that, but it's not going to be here until June sometime. It's like a year and a half order ahead. So we ordered it, and we're waiting till June till it arrives.
That's one truck?
That's one plow truck. Yep. So outfitted for sanding, salting, the blade to push back, so, we can look at alternatives on what we want to do there, so then we'll have two plow trucks. Two plow trucks in a place like Bridgetown don't work because you got small streets, so you need to use another smaller plow, like a 550 or something. But we might pursue looking after Cornwallis Park ourselves.
This is a tandem axle plow truck.
Yeah, this is a single axle, not a tandem.
Oh.
So similar to what we have in Bridgetown right now, which is fine. We're not driving 70, 80 kilometers an hour on the roads, plowing highways. We're just doing city streets. There's another question?
He stole my thunder in that way. I was going to say, for that kind of money, it must be a tandem axle truck, but obviously it isn't.
Oh gosh, if I wanted a tandem, you could add another 100,000 or more to that. Oh, that's the price of things today. The two principal projects under recreation were some further work on our trail park at Upper Clements and totally retrofitting the NICTOP playground. There's still some money there and still some bills to come in and some signage to be built and put up. So, there'll still be some maybe money coming out before the end of March. I talked about water system upgrades, the infamous Bear River water system. Well, I can tell you right now, the people are drinking water out of our new system on the same system that the Hillsborough Water Society provided in the past. We're waiting for the connection across the bridge. We hope to have that done in the next couple of weeks. And then we can activate the whole system at the same time connecting up the well fields. The pipes have been laid for connection to the well fields. It's a matter of putting controls in buildings and things like that to make sure it's fully operational. And we have one of our staff checking on it every day. whereas before, poor John volunteering his time to run out there and do it.
I was checking it every night too, sometimes
Yeah.
up there at 4 AM or 2 AM or whatever, for 15 years.
Yeah, so.
It's nice to have a break.
The benefits, one of the benefits we have is we actually have a staff member who's trained in water treatment and water system operations, who lives in Bear River.
Yeah.
So it's,
He's my neighbor, and I've been meeting with him pretty frequently, just to help him get through the bumps and
Yeah.
the hurdles of understanding it.
Thank you.
so it's working out good. So hopefully, whenever we talk about capital budget, I can give you a further update that we're operational. One other piece I wanted to mention is the community center kind of washroom facility we're building in Bear River in conjunction with the Board of Trade. ACOA is funding this project. So when you drive in the parking lot behind where the Legion is and et cetera, you will see a new building going up that is 2 accessible washrooms and a deck out back facing the river. So that didn't come here, I didn't put it on the list because it wasn't part of our original capital project. West Paradise. I know that's been on the books for a little while. We're at the point where I have preliminary designs, so I hope to review that with you probably within the next number of weeks of what the floor plan of that new building would look like and some cost estimating on the cost to do it.
I'm sorry, which building was it?
The blue building up at West Paradise. So one of the things we have to do as a council and a lot of new players is do a tour of all our facilities. So you know what we have, where they are, and one of the pieces, if you've never been up to the West Paradise site, you will see a huge coverall building that hasn't really been used, other than that we loaned it out to the company that was putting up the internet. Not loaned it, rented it to them. And there's another blue building that I'm renovating as a new potential works department office for, say, replacement of maybe Bridgetown or something. So you'll see that. Lakeele, water system is down the 201. We have to put a booster station at the corner and then run up into Hillside. We met last fall with the residents and the contractor, and the residents were fully aware of the plan and how that was going to proceed. So they know it's coming in the spring, and we'll be carrying on with that. Church Street sewer line is complete, and that was running from our existing system up to the new Mountains and Meadows facility. Upper Clements redevelopment plan, I would leave that up to the CAO to add comment.
It's over RFP right now.
Yep. East End Satellite Office is up and running, and people are using it, and I think the area residents are pretty happy to have that location. We bought a half-ton truck, not new, used, and it's working great. And we brought a radial arm attachment for the back of our tractor for doing ditches and bush hogging, etc. So it just drives along and cuts, rather than people that were walking, which built tons before to do things. So it's working out good. Any questions? Yep.
Just the leak over in Granville Ferry, was that able to be addressed, or is it going to require more work?
Well, the real issue there is Nova Scotia Power. Where we have to start digging is right beside one of their poles. They have to schedule, when they can schedule it, we'll do the work. So it's on their radar to get somebody in there. They have to support the pole. We're not going to take that on ourselves. And then that'll be looked at.
Councillor Longworth?
Thank you. So this, I guess, pertains to primarily the new parking lot that was built in Bridgetown, but it may just be, in general, something to consider for future, and could be happening around us now, for all I know. The parking spaces that are designated for handicap, are they wider? I've had people suggesting that it's very difficult to get out in those spaces and to get their aids out and be not butting up against another vehicle. I did have a phone call about the EV hookup as well, and that doesn't appear to be wide enough or accessible enough. Just thought I would ask. I've noticed it everywhere I am, even at hospitals. The parking for handicap is not wide enough to get your wheelchair out without...
So we will confirm those. I mean, we looked at it unless they changed the rules to make sure. The good thing about that, it's paint. We can just paint black and replace the paint lines and et cetera, et cetera. If there's more room required, and I'll bring that to the attention of staff to look at it to see where we are.
Thank you for that.
Okay?
Are there any other questions for Mr. Young? No other questions? Thank you very much, Mr. Young.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, at this moment, we're just going to take a 5-minute recess, and then we'll go right into the public hearing.